Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Deeptox podcast. We have the one and only Pablo Pulido. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man.
What you been up to?
Nothing, bro. Just working.
Yeah.
Staying consistent. Trying to take care of the family, man. It's hard. Sometimes I feel like I be slacking and everything, but
How's the family doing?
they're doing good, man. My mom, every now and then, you can tell she's not in a good mood or something. Especially around this time for my dad's birthday was just a week before hers or after hers.
Yeah.
So
before we get to basically the main purpose of this and, go more in depth about your story with your dad and your family, everything you guys have gone through, let's actually start. How did we meet? I don't even, was it in Toyota?
yeah, I want to say it was, man.
Right?
Yeah.
But I feel like I've known you before, but I didn't ever know you. Maybe, I don't know.
I think.
Or was that?
Nah, I think you're about right, man. I think I probably, I met you through one of my relationships back ago. So
Yeah.
that's where it all started at then. And then at Toyota's where it really went in.
Yeah. Are you still Toyota?
Nah, bro.
For real?
Yeah.
Wait.
Kind of parted ways.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Bro.
I've been there. I haven't been there for like 3 months.
Time.
Give and take, all years put together, about 4, maybe 5.
5. How does that make you feel that you...
To be quite honest, man, it's just... I still miss the place. I miss the coworkers I used to work with, man, you know? But I don't know, man. I guess it just wasn't meant to be a job to have.
So before we actually did this, I didn't even play with you, bro. I was actually nervous to hit you up because it's like sensitive topics and I honestly thought you were gonna say no.
Nah, man. I mean, like I said, I don't really be opening up about this subject to anybody. I don't even open up to my wife when she be asking questions. But if you said it was to help people out, man, I'm all with it. Yeah,
definitely a privilege to have you here, and I do think that these kind of conversations are necessary because, like you said, you don't even open up to your wife, about these kind of things.
Yeah.
And that can be critical because you suppress everything. And you don't. Who do you open up to?
Man, I used to just grab the bottle, bro. Grab the bottle. Nah, I don't no more.
How long ago?
Well, I got married, man. And I knew, it's time to change some ways or something in me that, and one of the main things was me always drinking.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't always a heavy drinking, but it's still drinking, bro.
Right. So, what's Pablo's daily routine? What does he do day to day? What does it look like?
Man, it's just work, bro. Work, come home. I work 12-hour shifts, so...
Every day?
Not every day. I work a continental shift.
Oh, I got you.
So this week was my long weekend off. So I only worked 2 days out of this week, but... I guess I take advantage of those. I got too comfortable with the schedule. So I just want to stay home, bro. I don't really be doing nothing. Just stay home. If I'm off, I stay home. Stay home.
And then now that you don't, I feel like the main gatherings, parties, it's not considered fun if there's no alcohol involved. How do you use that time now before, you would drink?
I mean, I still go to the gatherings, bro. It's to me now. I still struggle with it. I still get the temptations, but I fight it. If they ask, I'll be like, nah, I'm good, thank you. But it's just for me, I'm more like a family person, so I'd rather just be around my family, man. And even though my family got some issues going on right now too, family gatherings haven't been the same since I don't know, man, probably years already. So. It ain't really about the alcohol no more,
Yeah.
It's about who's the closest. I guess when it comes down to the family gatherings, not everybody shows up. Certain people do, certain people don't. So
it definitely makes me sad because and I feel like sometimes it's just my family because we're in the same position. Like family's not the same. The gatherings, there's like a disconnection, and then when you are there, something just feels off. And yeah, I used to feel, even hearing that, it's very eye-opening to me because I always feel like it's just my family that goes through that. And bro, a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a lot. like this is new to us, man. You know, I hate it. Like I hate not having the family time we used to have before.
What was it like before?
I mean, it was despite with the alcohol and everything, bro. It was just family, bro. Like everybody was just having a good time, laughing, playing loteria or whatever, you know. But
bro, that's the vibe.
Now it's just like for family gatherings, maybe 2-3 tias show up and that's it. The cousin wise, they don't really be coming around like that no more either, too. So most of my family gatherings, bro, is just either it's me, and I could probably count maybe 2 more cousins, and then the rest of them is the youngsters, the young cousins.
Right.
So it ain't the same vibe in between them because they're doing their own thing. It's nothing compared to with the people when my cousins that grew up around my age, you know.
Right.
So it's a little difficult, man. But like I said, to me, it's just being family. So whoever does show up, we're there just to have a good time either way.
What do you think has changed?
I don't know, bro. I really don't know what.
What's your take on that?
It's just between them, bro. Like, whatever they got going on. I mean, I don't be getting into business like that either, so, but they got issues.
Yeah,
you know, nobody's perfect, but...
No family's perfect.
I mean, it's just awkward, bro. Everything just changed.
I feel you on that one right there, because, bro, the same way. I don't even know how Thanksgiving and Christmas is going to look like this year. And, bro, to be honest, 2020 has been a hell of a year. Like, it's been a hard year for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm over 2020, bro. I really am.
Been over it, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's just been a very odd time. I don't know how things are going to look for me and, you know, Britzy this year being the first year or the first holiday without our child.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, though it's different losses, it's a father and a child, I still feel like I can gain some kind of knowledge from your experience and how you dealt with that first year without having your loved one.
But my first year was rough, man.
How did that look like for you?
Before he even passed, I had already thrown the white flag.
Yeah.
So I was just making a lot of dumb mistakes, man. Landed in jail 2 times within a year.
For the same reason?
Different reasons.
Oh, wow.
And it was just, I had completely given up, man. I gave up. I threw the white flag. I really didn't care about myself. I didn't care about my family at one point. I was just doing whatever came up to my mind. If it was correct or not correct, I was willing to go to that stage.
Like I mentioned before we went live, our main reason that we're here is to inspire those that have lost a father and to inspire those, like in my situation, that I have my father, but I haven't seen him in years. So I almost, because of him walking out, I almost take him for granted that he's still here. And so I want to be inspired by your story and many other people and how we can better connect with our fathers that we do have him now. And yeah, and how you really went through the process of your grief, because, bro, you've been through a lot. You really have. And you've kept a lot to yourself. And that has, I mean, I see you now and you look better, you know, just by even when you walked in the front door. But somehow, like, I see all your scars, but like, I see you healing every time. Every time I see you, you're like different, but like in a good way. Mm-hmm. And I believe that there's people listening in your situation that have lost a father or are getting close to losing their father. And yeah, let's talk about that. And anything you don't want to talk about, like just tell me straightforward. Like, I really don't want to talk about that, because it is I have a lot of trigger warnings. Even now, I can't hear sirens because that triggers our situation. Yeah. Or hospital, when we talk about like just medical stuff, I can't do that. And yeah, so anything I mention, just cut me off, say this is not something I want to talk about, because I respect that, because I know how triggering things can be. And yeah, so let's talk about your story, bro. Let's go from the beginning, how things looked in the early stages, and what happened.
Man, so my father was diagnosed with cancer, I want to say 2013, 2014. At that time, bro, I wasn't really going around to see them. I wasn't staying with them at that time.
Yeah.
I was staying with my with one of my past relationships, you know. And so I guess to me at that time I didn't think it was gonna come down to this. So I let go probably about a year and a half without, visiting my parents or visiting my dad very often. As the time went by, my dad was just getting worse, man. And that's what I carry out with me. Mm-hmm. I keep that to myself because I don't blame nobody for it. The only person that I have to blame is myself.
Yeah.
Because I didn't take advantage of that time that I had left with him when he was still, I guess you could say, still here. Because even though he didn't pass until 2016, from 2015 was a really bad year, bro. My dad was here, but he really wasn't here.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it was already too late for that, bro. I mean, I could still make memories with him, but not both that we could remember.
Yeah, I know that feeling where you just feel like something, like the last months with Abel, like I already knew he was in heaven.
Yeah.
And he was here. And talk about the early stages when he was diagnosed. How did that, the news when it was delivered, how was that for your family and for you? And what was your perspective on it?
Like I said, bro, I can't really tell you that I went through it. I think the ones that really went through it when they first found out and they got the news delivered were my sisters and my mom.
That was when you were distant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I go around visiting him when he was at the hospital getting treatment? Yeah, I did, man. Did I cry 1 or 2 times when I was there? I did. But to me, I thought he was going to overcome it. I thought they got it a little early where they can, still cure it. But they didn't, bro. By the time they caught it, it was already at stage 4.
How long did he go through? Did he go through chemo?
Yeah, chemo? He did the treatments. I really can't tell you for how long. I mean, I wasn't really involved in it, bro. Like that, And this is como el coraje que me da entre yo mismo, because I was basically the man of the house at that point, where starting had to take place of being that man of the house, and I was nowhere near. I was just around. I'd come very often, but I wasn't physically there with them. And ese es el coraje que yo me traigo in myself, It's just, I mean, it did affect everybody, but like I said, the main people that I think that it really affected was my mom and my sisters, because they were always there 24/7. And my little brother, they were there, bro. I didn't get to witness that, and I can't really tell you, because I'm the kind of person that when it gets to something like that, I'd rather just not be around it. I'm weak when it comes to things like that, So in my way, I was just running away from it. I was ignoring it. But then now again, I look back and I regret ignoring it, because, like I said, at that time frame, my dad was still here with us normally. And when I decided to face the fact, and I had to say, accept the fact that, that he ain't gonna make it, it was already too late for me to be around. Because everything, all the memories that we could have had together, or the good times that we could have had together, I didn't get to accomplish that because of my weakness.
I guess that's why you mentioned the only person you were angry at is yourself.
Yeah.
And you feel like Yeah, I know that feeling for sure, because it's, as much as you want to be there, every part of the situation, the more you try to be close, it's like you run from it. Like you said, I think as men, we're weak when it comes to stuff like that. And I was just reminiscing on the time, and actually, I'll probably not talk about it because trigger you. Yeah, never mind. So whenever you guys received the news, where were you at the time? And
I was at the apartment that I was staying at.
Yeah.
My mom had called me, and she had told me, "Hey, your father was diagnosed with lung cancer." And I mean, if I can remember correctly, I either stayed quiet or I just told her, okay. You know, it wasn't like, I didn't ask anything else. I either stayed quiet or I said, okay.
Yeah.
And, but it was around, like I said, 2013, 2014, around that time when he got diagnosed.
Whenever these are really hard conversations. Like, it's even hard for me to, because I know the feeling. And sometimes when you ask these questions, they become triggers. Were you at one point angry with God? Did you feel?
No, yeah, man. I'm not going to say that I got married in May. I got baptized in May. But did I have my doubts when it came down to that? Yeah, I did, bro. When I talk to my wife about it like this, it triggers her. Because she takes it like if I don't have faith or I don't believe in God. I do. I have faith. I believe in God. But I guess I just don't understand how, I guess, he can let something like this happen.
How could you hurt me? How could you allow this hurt?
And what triggers me right off the bat is when people ask me about it and I tell them, part of the story, everybody just tells me, I feel you. I know what you're going through. But maybe God had a plan.
Oh.
That triggers me, bro, because most of the people that tell you that haven't even been through a situation like that.
100%.
So how can you feel what I'm going through and then tell me that, maybe God has a plan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was that? I don't question
that's
him,
not
I guess.
what I want to hear, though.
Yeah. But it's just like, what's the plan in behind this that you had to take my father?
Yeah.
To get my attention somehow.
For sure. And usually, like you said, those people that say that, they don't realize, like you said, when they tell us, oh, well, God, he had a plan and he's in a better place. Ya no está sufriendo. Like, all those words, like you mentioned, are triggers, because I get that he's in a better place. But at the end of the day, people like you and me are not. We're on Earth, bro. And so it's like, we know he's in a better place. We understand that, he no longer has cancer or these other diagnoses. But at the end of the day, we're on this earth, bro. And this earth it's a dysfunctional earth, bro.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah. And wow. It's crazy how we can relate, but it's still different situations. And you said it was 2000 when he passed?
2016.
2016.
Yeah, April 11th, 2016.
Oh, wow.
At 7:11 in the morning on a Monday.
It's crazy how you remember.
It's a day that I'm not going to forget, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was on vacation at that time too, man. I just put in like my vacation hours so I can, be with him those last couple of days. And just so happened to be the day that I was going to go back to work, the day that he passed.
I think I was working at the time at Toyota, and yeah, I was.
Yeah.
You had came in, or?
Nah, I'd call Jordan.
That's what it was.
In the morning, right when it happened.
I remember he came in that morning, and I was just, no words. What were those last days like for you? What? ¿Qué te decía? Or
another thing, bro. He didn't. That was the one thing that I can probably remember from him that the last couple of days is that we were outside on my front porch just listening to music. And at that time, I was still drinking. And I was drinking a beer. He saw me that I was drinking a beer. So he asked me that he wanted a beer. I told my mom, I was like, hey, can I give him a beer? She was like, nah, don't give him a beer because we don't know how, it can affect him or how is he going to react to it.
Yeah.
So we went out to buy the beers that didn't have no alcohol. And we bought a 6-pack of those. And we went to the fridge. I opened one up and put it in a clear cup. And I gave it to him. And he tasted it. And he was like, nah, man, that's not a beer. I want a beer. So he kept wanting the beer, man. But we didn't give it to him because we didn't know how, what could affect him at that time. Mm. But that's something I'm always going to remember that, I was just like, man, this is wild. Like, you're sick and you want a beer. That's what you want.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, it was just being at the house, man, just watching TV, listening to music. I was listening to music with him because, as I grew up with him, I still remember that we would be in a garage playing pool, and he would always have his music blast.
What would y'all listen to?
Montez Durango, Patrulla 81.
Okay.
So I would be playing those music at that time, the last times we had. And still until now, every time I feel some type of way and his birthday comes around or his anniversary comes around, that's what you catch me listening to all the time. And so it just gives me some comfort in a way, but in a way it also brings back a lot of memories, man.
I'm curious to know how those first months were after he passed, and was that when your drinking elevated?
It elevated more than just drinking. I was completely lost, man.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What routes did you take? How did you feel?
It was beyond drinking, bro. It was just drinking, drugs. And it got to the point that, I tried to stop at one point, but something kept pulling me back all the time, and as it kept pulling me back all the time, I ended up getting into two bad confronts with my family, like physically. Mm. And, they probably thought it was just, the drugs, right? But it really, the drugs did play a lot in it.
Right.
But mainly it was just, the pain. I'm not gonna say that I get jealous or mad, but when people that still have their fathers here and, sometimes they just like take them for granted. Like I put myself in their position. I'm like, yo, like, your days are on here are not promised. His days are here and not promised.
Yeah.
And I disrespected my father a lot. And the one thing that I carry with me all the time, and I'm going to carry with me until I'm gone, is that one New Year's Day, I was going through something in my past relationship, and I lost it, bro. And I went a physical fist fight with my family, and ended up doing it with my dad as well.
Oh, wow.
And that's something I'm always going to carry with me. And at that time when I was doing all that, that just kept playing back in my head. Mm. So I was just mad at myself.
For doing that?
And with the drugs that I was on, it didn't make it any better, bro. I started doing it with my other family. And I feel embarrassed and I feel, like a low life at that point because it's like I shouldn't have gotten like that to begin with. Mm-hmm. despise of what I'm going through. And if I do it, maybe I should done it when I'm by myself.
Right.
And not take it out on people that didn't have nothing to do with it,
And I will say one thing, though, that I'm not saying that was okay. But what I can say is when you're going through a lot and there's a lot of pain involved and you suppressed everything. So it's like a Coke. You shake it up and you open it. Everything just explodes. And like I said, I'm not saying that there's no consequences for the actions we take, but grief comes in waves. And there's many things, even now, that I do that go back into the pain that I feel. And don't beat yourself up for what you've done, because, and then you said something else. You said, I'm not saying I'm jealous or it makes me mad when I see, or angry with, I see people, with their fathers. It's okay if it does, man, because it makes me mad when I see parents with their kids sometimes. It does. I'm going to be honest. It makes me jealous because I want that.
Yeah.
And I have to be realistic with that, because if not, I'm going to just suppress that. And it's not their fault. They don't know what it's like to go through what you went through. But we have to be okay with the emotion that we feel. And I am angry that he has his father and I don't. But it's not in a malicious matter that you're wishing anything upon them. It's just the fact that you don't have your father and they do. And you do anything. And so even like when parents complain about their kids, like that to me is a trigger, because I wish I could complain about my kid, And so, yeah, it's okay, man. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to feel angry. And the more you expose that emotion, I feel like the more healing. And so what made you pick alcohol and drugs?
I mean, I was already drinking prior before, my dad's situation. Drug-wise, it was just something that I guess wanted to try. But then with everything just coming all down, I didn't even think of it, because it wasn't the first time that I got approached, hey, you want to try this? Normally I'll be like, when they asked me, I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it does, so I'm good. But as soon as everything came down, I didn't even hesitate, bro. Yeah, you want it? Give it to me, bro. And I liked the feeling that I had.
Because it made you numb.
It numbed me, bro. And I didn't really, I canceled everything out. Whatever I was going through, however I was feeling, once I had it, I canceled it out. I didn't have nothing else to worry about. It was just whatever that I took and whatever I was taking it with. And it got the best of me. I ain't gonna lie, it got the best of me. It got to a point where even though I had kept taking it and taking it and taking it, whatever powers I had back then when I first tried it, after I was taking it, it wasn't working the same no more. Me pegaba, I would get angry quick, bro. Quick. My temper will snap. I'll snap on anybody, bro. I didn't care who it was. And my first incident going to jail was December 26th of 2015. My father was still here. I had just gotten on a car wreck too.
Oh, wow.
On the 24th, and I was all messed up. I didn't do nothing for those 2 days. So much drink for Christmas or whatever, I didn't do nothing. So on the 26th, I was feeling better. I was invited to go out to the club. I went. But even then, after that, once I got over there, I just started feeling a lot of anger again. So I went back to what I thought was going to help me cancel everything out just to have a good time. It didn't work. So I ended up getting in a fight with a cop at the end of the night.
I remember that. You told me about it.
Yeah, and it was just due to all that, man. I had a bunch of anger already built up in me, and it didn't fit no more. I couldn't. Yeah. Wherever I was putting it at, it was already.
What was that? You said your dad was still here, so what was that anger, or where was that anger coming from?
I guess you can already feel it that, he wasn't in a good stage at that time. Okay,
so he was already going through the cancer.
Yeah, he was already going through everything, man. And
gotcha.
Like I said, 2015 was one of the worst years because even though he was here, he wasn't.
He wasn't here.
You had to help him get out of bed. He had to be on a wheelchair because he couldn't walk. Shower, which I personally didn't do none of that. And the way it gets me more angry because at that time I believe it was just my little sister and my mom and my dad living at the house. And I wasn't there. So when I had to be helping my mom, I wasn't. So my mom was doing everything. Everything as in getting him up from bed, changing him, showering him, helping him use the restroom because he couldn't even do that. And it was just, I just kept running away, man. I couldn't confront it. I couldn't face it at that time.
Did you ever express that to your... No.
Nobody knows about this. Well, now they're going to know. But,
yeah. Oh, wow.
But they don't know about it. And I just didn't want to face it, man. I was in denial. I didn't want to face the fact that I was about to lose my dad.
At that time, were you praying?
I wasn't. I probably maybe prayed maybe once or twice throughout the whole time that he was with his cancer.
And it's crazy how everybody's different. There's some people that when they go through rock bottom, either they run from God or they run to God. And then once things get better, they forget about God. When you went through everything, did you have people on your side support? Did you have a support system?
Yeah, I had my family. But, even then, my family always supported us. I think they always supported.
They were there for whatever reason. They were there
for whatever reason, But, like I said, they still had their own issues, man. So with them having their issues between themselves and then trying to come back in a way and look at me like, hey, everything's gonna be okay. I'm here if you need me, or if I need you, whatever. To me, after I just witnessed them fighting, or whatever reason they got, or whatever issues they got, and then they come back to me trying to help, it's just like, bro, I just seen you doing this, or I just seen y'all doing this. Why are you gonna come back to me and act like ain't nothing going on?
Yeah.
I hate when I see my family fight because it's not, like I say, everybody's not perfect. Everybody got their issues.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, man, we're family. The only time you're going to come together is at the next funeral. So why y'all going to wait until that happens so y'all can come back together to be a family?
Yeah.
So I keep it real short now with my family sometimes. I'm not gonna say I don't go visit them, or if they come visit my mom, I'm not there. But I like to, I hang around with them every now and then when I get a chance or when I see them. But it's just not the same, bro. Family, and to me, I feel like it hasn't been the same since my dad. I'm not saying it was.
It can't be the same, man.
It can't. I'm not saying it was because of that reason that family hasn't been the same, but something about my dad that it was good bringing, I guess, people together, or people always had a good time, or whatever. It was something, for sure.
He was definitely a light in the family and everybody.
Because everybody that's family talk and know him for who he is and what he always done to help out. regardless whether he's mad or he didn't want to do it, but he will still do it. And I can tell you that for a fact because my wife, she tells me that I don't want to be doing things sometimes when it comes to helping out my family or whatever. But it's just something in me that I can't say no. So I'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
I could be tired, bro, and I'm going to have to go help out this person. Or this person needs something, so let me go help them out.
Bro, you've always had a great heart because... And it's crazy because the outer you sometimes can come off as, like, intimidating. Yeah. Like, honestly. But, like, inside you have a soft spot. You really do. And I remember there was a time, actually... And when we were working at the time in Toyota, I don't know what it was or how was the situation. I'm trying to remember, but it was. I think I didn't have any money, and I asked you for money.
Yeah.
What was the reason again?
I really
had to pay something. There was something I had to pay, and yeah, bro, you stepped up. You said, "Bro, if you need it, I got you." Yeah, bro, I always appreciate that. I always remember that.
Yeah, man. I don't know. My dad was like that, so. I guess I got that from him too.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's talk about some good memories with your father because, you know, sometimes we can get lost in all the bad things. Like even still today, sometimes I allow the negative to outweigh the positive.
Yeah.
And I remember only bad memories. And yeah, so my question to you is how was your childhood like with your family or with your father? What was that like?
Yeah, that was good, man. I mean, he got me into playing soccer at an early age. And ever since I picked up the ball, I haven't dropped it. Until now, I still haven't dropped it, bro.
Okay. Let me find out.
I'll still be playing. So my dad was always my support when it came down to soccer. You know, he always was there. If it wasn't him, it was my grandfather from my mom's side.
Gotcha.
My mom's dad.
He was really involved.
Yeah, they're both really involved. And so my childhood with my dad was great.
What are some things he taught you?
I mean, he taught me, you know, that if you want things, well, first of all, when he found out that I was in the drinking party life, whatever, he always told me if you're gonna drink heavy and you're gonna be partying out late, you better be like that the next day at work. So he, you know, and that with me, it always carried out. So if I knew that I was gonna go to a party and I was gonna drink,
there was
I knew I had to be out on time to get to work, and I always was. So it kind of in a way benefited because then I was like, well, if I can do this, I can do it anytime, you know.
Right.
So I got it to se me hizo costumbre de hacerlo every weekend until it caught up to me, bro. And once it caught up to me, I took a little break off of it. But and even he did too. He be like that sometimes too. And he'll be taking his breaks. He'll take his little 6-month break with no drinking, and then he'll go back at it again. You know, so, but my dad taught me a lot of things, man. I remember when I get out of school, you know, first thing I wanted to go do is go play soccer with my homies. And he wouldn't let me. He's like, you gotta help me out with this. Once you're done with this, you can go. Primero viene el trabajo y luego ya puedes ir a jugar.
Sheesh.
So, and I would do it, man. I mean, I would be mad, but he, you know, he was teaching me responsibilities around the house, man.
Yeah.
You know,
what
something
comes first? Priorities.
Yeah. So, do I do those things now? Sometimes. Most of the times, I don't do it because it's just I don't know. It's just laziness, or it's just like, man, I don't see the point of doing it. You know, my dad was a great dude, man. He taught me a lot.
Right.
He always told me, you know, you gotta help me change the oil on the car or change the brakes, whatever, because that way when the day that I'm not here, your mom doesn't have to go waste money on doing it. You can just do it for her. So at that point, that's when I got into the mechanic stuff. You know, I wanted to be a mechanic. I wanted to learn more about cars, how to fix them or whatever. So that's when I started working at Toyota. You know, and I made them a promise that, you know, I was going to become a technician, but I failed them on that. So
did you ever end up going to the back?
No. So I failed them on that part, but you know, it's still there. I'm gonna keep that promise somehow.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, for a very long time, man, I was mad at my dad because I didn't get to experience that. And, he walked out. Parents had just differences. I'm not going to go there. But for a very long time, I was angry, and I felt like it just made me mad that I had to figure it out on my own. Still today, bro, now that I got my own house, I'm still trying to figure stuff out. And you know how there's like women that don't know how to cook?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the guy that doesn't know how to do like maintenance, stuff like that. And so it bothers me because sometimes Britzy has to call her dad. And as a man, that makes you feel less because you're like, man, I don't know how to put this on, or I don't know. Just little stuff around the house that you don't know that within time you figure out that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am. Haven't seen my dad in 12 plus years. I really don't remember anymore. Lost count. We're doing better now, but it's all virtual. Facebook is, that connection's still not connection.
Mm-hmm.
You want the real connection. But like I mentioned, for a long time, I was angry. I've come to realize, and this is why I'm it's a privilege to have you, because I came to realize that at the end of the day, I'm still blessed to say that I have my father. And I mean that with respect, because when people say I'm blessed to have my children, it makes me feel some type of way sometimes. But I want to learn from you. What are some advice, things you can tell like people like me and people that have their fathers, but they don't have that connection?
Yeah.
What would you say to?
At the end of the day, man, he's still your blood. Despite whatever disconnection you had because of their part or your part or whoever's part. All I can tell you is don't waste your time, bro, because you're letting time pass. And like I said, your days and his days are not promised. Something can happen later, and you're gonna regret not having him around or not even reaching out to them and letting you know how you feel, how it affected you. So if you still, for the ones that still have their fathers and they're not in connection with them and they want to be, because it is hard, man. I'm pretty sure it is hard to try to find a way to, reach out. But it doesn't have to be anything big or special, man. Just, it could start off as a text, and then you can see how they respond towards it. And if it goes good from there, and then maybe catch some breakfast or something. But, I wouldn't give it, I wouldn't just cancel it out completely, I wouldn't, everybody makes mistakes, bro.
For sure.
And there's always, anybody deserves a second chance. You don't know what they've been through just as much as how they don't know what you've been through.
Right.
So it's just up to you to start off to see if you really want to really get to know him. Because even though if you missed out a couple of years, man, you probably could have missed out the bad ones. And now you can make up and have some good ones coming along. So for those that, still have their father around, just don't have that connection, just reach out every now and then, man. Maybe just meet up, see how it is.
Yeah, for sure. And so my other question, we're good. We're almost done. We're good on time. I have like a few more questions, and hopefully people are enjoying this. What would you say to the person that just lost their father?
Well, I had two people that are close, two friends of mine that just recently lost their father. And I told him, I found out about it, and I texted him. I told him, hey, bro, you need to talk, you need to do anything, bro, I'm here for you, man. Just hit me up. Because I know what they're going through. I've been through it. Now what I can say to them, you're the man of the house now. You gotta, I understand, it gets the best of you sometimes. But alcohol and drugs ain't the way right now, bro. It never was. And I know that because of what I've been through.
Yeah.
So I can just tell them what I've been through and be like, look, man, you don't need to do None of that, because this is where it's gonna lead you to. And by the time you're trying to make it right, you have to go deal with probation or whatever.
All the consequences.
All the consequences, you know. To avoid all that, you know, since I've been through it, I can already tell you what you have to do. What I do, man, because it's not, I go through it every day most of the time, bro. Like I said, especially when the anniversaries and birthdays come around. I completely, it's just the moment, like for his birthday this year, right? This is the day before, on the 17th, I was already feeling some type of way. So I get in a bad mood. I start getting angry. But it gets me to the point where I already know if I let it get to me, it's gonna mess it up, bro. So I find ways to distract myself. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't work, I just go visit my dad. I go visit him. I play music. Just chilling, man. I'm just chilling there with my dad. You know,
it's therapeutic for you.
Yeah, it is. And you know how in the morning when we started off, you know, you asked me if I've been completely sober. I have, but then again, I haven't, because when I go visit my dad, I always have that one drink with him. You know, to me, it's just it's I don't know. It's just.
Is it that you feel closer to him?
I feel closer to him, and you know, when we drank, when he was still here, we always shared a beer with each other. So it's just like a routine to me, you know. But that's where it goes to. That's it. It's just when I go visit my dad, I got my beer, I got his beer. That's it. First off, you know, me praying, you know. But there's people out there that, you know, they probably don't go that route. So my next step would probably be, you know, if you know somebody that's gone through it, just text them, bro. Even if you're not really, like, if they're your high school friends and you haven't been in touch with them for so long, just hit them up, bro. Like, these two people that I talked to about, they were high school friends, bro, and we're still friends. But it's just the connection that we had back then in high school compared to now is not the same. But once I find out about what happened, I texted them. I'll be like, hey, bro, you know, I'm here. If you need anything, if you just need to talk, that's all they need.
Yeah.
And then from there, you already planted basically a seed. And, you know, from there, it's up to them if they want to, you know, which route to take. Because they already got the easy route. But they already know where that can lead to. You know, so they start thinking a little bit and be like, if I want to do this, or this guy offered, you know, to help me out because he's been through it. And it's funny because one of them, I texted him and he didn't think, he was like, look, man, I already know what you've been through, and I didn't think you were going to reply. Or I didn't even think you were going to show it to my house, you know, to pay respect. And I was like, why wouldn't I, bro? Like, you know, we go way back.
Right.
You're going through something that I know is hard because I've been through it.
Yeah.
So I can try to help you out if you let me, you know? And that way you don't have to make the wrong choices, bro. Because once you make that wrong choice, it's going to be with you until who knows.
Right. And it's such a deep, you get yourself into a really dark hole. And the deeper you go, it's like, you can't get out.
Yeah. You just keep digging that hole more deeper and deeper, bro. I dug my hole deep.
Would you say you canceled everybody, like your family, friends, when you lost your father and you were just mad at everybody? When people try to reach out to you, would you completely cancel?
Yeah, bro. I'll cancel everything.
Yeah.
I'll cancel myself out of my own. Like, I don't know if that even makes sense, but like, I wasn't in my own. What does that
mean to you?
I wasn't even in my own. Like, I wasn't really planning on talking about it like this, but there is no other way to say it, bro. I had suicidal thoughts, you know? And,
wow.
it's just, I mean, I really don't know how to, but it got to that point, bro, where I didn't even value my own life. I didn't respect my own life at that point no more, you know? And nobody know about this, bro. Well, my wife did. I told her about it. But it was just, I mean, I don't know, bro. It's just been crazy. It was a crazy time for me at that time. It was just really bad.
What thoughts were you getting?
Well, I came up to 2 occasions. At the time, I did have a gun, and that was always with me, you know. But then I came up to another occasion off the Oakwood Bridge. But just, no, man, just didn't have the courage to do it.
Were you scared?
Yeah. I was scared, but also I was also thinking about, you know, how it was gonna affect my family in a way. Then I really didn't care, bro.
Who's your support system around that time? I mean, how did you? Because you mentioned in the beginning of this podcast, you said you dropped the white flag.
Yeah.
How did you manage to pick it up? What got you to say there's better?
I mean, sometime when my last time that I was in jail, they knew about that. So they had me on like a 24/7 watch type of thing, you know? So that kind of helped out, I guess. But my main support that basically helped me get through all this was my wife.
Your wife.
She moved out. We dated in high school. I had like 3 months before she moved to Cali for like 7 years. But we still kept in contact, even though I was already in a relationship.
Yeah.
You know. But I told her, I was like, you know, at one point, one day, you know, we're gonna be back. And when you come back, you're gonna be with me, man. I'm not gonna let it pass. So 2016, acabando el año 2016, 2017, she moved back. I didn't waste no time.
Y'all didn't.
I told her. So we started dating on Valentine's Day. Then pasaron unos años, we got engaged, Christmas. And then this year we got married in May.
Congrats, man.
So she's been helping me a lot.
I could see that.
And although, well, her and her family, you know, shout out to her parents, you know, they've been helping me a lot through everything that I've been going through, because they know what you know, and they know more, you know, and they've been helping me out, you know. At first I thought I was just going to church just to see her, but nah, bro, like.
Is that how it started though at first?
Nah.
No?
No. I told her straight up that I didn't want to, before we started dating, I told her that I wanted to change. You know, I mean, I wasn't going to change overnight.
No, for sure.
You know, because especially for the person that I was and like where I come from, the drinking and whatever, you're just not. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody can drop it overnight, but
you can't really.
But you know, it's hard.
Yeah,
you know, and I told her that I didn't want to change. It took me a couple of years, but
yeah, you can't. And that's the thing that bothers me when people put an expiration date on your healing journey or an expiration date to your habit. Like, there's no, like, here you are. How many years has it been since your father? 4. Here you are 4 years later, but it's obvious that you still feel that pain, and especially around this time.
Every day, man.
Yeah, every day. And so sometimes people expect that we're over it in 6 months and a year, but it doesn't. Every day it gets harder because it prolongs. It feels like it's prolonged, but at the same time, you're getting closer to see them, but we are looking at it from behind, and it feels, it just bothers me that. Bro, this is a really good conversation.
It is.
Like, it's if really good. I say this. I've said this on the last one that it was really good, but like it gets better and better. I don't know why, but I'm really, really enjoying this. Now, what keeps you going every day? I know we say like my family keeps me going, my wife, but
My past.
yeah.
All my decisions that I make. I can easily go back to that person that I was before. And the quickness. You know? All it takes is just as small as that's a bad argument. I can go back to that person. I look at my tattoos, because I have tattoos, and everything that I have on me is to the things that I've been through.
Story.
You know?
Your scars.
And people look at me and be like, why do you have those tattoos? I'm like, because that's what I've been through. You know, I've been through this and I've been through that. Like on my wrist, I get all the time, why you gotta live and die?
Mm.
I got to that point where I didn't know if I wanted to live
Or die.
You know?
Oh, that's deep.
So every time I feel like I'm in a hole, man, I look at my tattoos. I look at these two especially. And that reminds me
right there.
That reminds me that, you know, who I have to value. I have to value myself. I have to respect myself. I have to keep pushing forward for me,
right,
for my relationship, but most importantly for my dad, because even though I let him down, and I know he is proud of me, but it's not enough for me. It's not enough.
Mm. Would you say that you are running from your past, or you're done with, like, you don't want that, you acknowledge that that's not who you are? And
that's a good question, because I can't really tell you the answer for it, because there's still days, you know, I get heated and I want to do things that how I did back in my past.
Mm-hmm.
But do I want to change that? Yes. Can I change it? I don't know if that's, you know, possible, because, you know, it's just like a mentality way that, you know, how you grew up. You know, first, I can't really tell you an answer on that one, man. You know, to me personally, I feel like I don't want to run away from it. Like I want to have a piece of my past on this new lifestyle that I got going on. But then again, I gotta be careful with what that kind of piece that I want, because if it's something that I know is like a trigger for me, then I can go downhill quick. So I just gotta, I guess, look for the right piece.
Yeah. And you get to choose every day whether you live or die. Or the decision you're making, is it gonna help you live, or is it gonna help you?
Yeah. It's not just about, you know, life in general. You know, it's
everyday decision.
It's an everyday decision.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, actually, if the younger version of you was sitting in front of you, what would you tell him? But I really feel led to ask you, if your father was sitting in front of you, what would you tell him?
I tell him I love him, man. You know, I love him. I miss him. And that I'll get anything to trade places. Because he shouldn't. He left early, man. He left early. He still had a whole life to give. He left the family behind, kids. You know, and I have family, but I don't have kids like that, bro. And, you know, I could be struggling right now, but I think the main one that I really need to be there for is for my little brother. I can just imagine what he's going through, you know? But
how old is he?
I want to say he's 14, bro. He was born in 2000.
That age is crucial, because you're in a transition, and at that age you get all these emotions.
Yeah.
And I'm sure now you feel like that's
if you think that I keep everything closed down, bro, that man right there, my little brother,
He's on another level.
He's on another level, bro. I don't be talking to him one-on-one like about it because I don't know how he's gonna react.
Yeah.
You know, and then I don't want him to. You know, sometimes you do more damage talking to him about those kind of things.
It's true. I
than
agree.
trying to help him.
It's true.
So right now, I feel like he ain't.
Sometimes even just being around them and not talking about it helps.
Yeah. You know, so what I do, because I can tell when something's going on, when something's bothering him, or if he's, you know, going through something. I can tell. So what I do, I just go in his room. He's playing his games. I'll start messing around with him.
Right.
Until I get a laugh. Once I get a laugh, hey, man, he's good.
Yeah.
But right now, he's good.
I think you're doing better than you think you are. And I think that, it's evident that you're still in this journey of every day trying to find this healing. And I honestly believe that there's many people watching, whether they relate to this or not, they'll find something to relate to, because your story is going to touch a lot of people. And I appreciate your time. I really do. Like it's not easy just making this happen. You gotta step out of your normal day by day life and make time for this. And so it really means a lot to me that you made time to be here. And where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Man, if, you know, where I see myself 5 years from now, there's no telling, bro. I mean, I'm trying to shoot for the sky right now, bro. You know, I'm not trying to settle for anything no more. I'm trying to be done working with a 9 to 5. You know, I'm trying to do something that's going to benefit me and my family. But also, I want to do things, you know, that, you know, I want to help out people that have gone through stuff like this, you know?
Yeah.
Because I know what they can go through. And sometimes,
you know how dark it is.
That anger, that darkness can get the best of you, man. You can make them say that it changed your whole life. I want to help out people like that with that kind of situations. I just don't know how yet.
Well, you're doing it now.
I also see myself with a family, you know, if God allows it.
Yeah, I definitely think kids help out.
Yeah.
They'll never, even for us, no matter how many more kids we decide, if God allows, it'll never replace that void. It'll help it, but it won't completely remove that pain. What's the biggest misconception that people have of you? Like, I'll tell you, when I first met you, I didn't know how to approach you because I didn't know if you were, I don't know. I'm not saying I was scared of you.
Yeah.
Just like you have this real serious.
I guess that's it, bro.
Yeah.
And I get, you know, that normally comes around most of the time.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times.
But then you have the biggest heart. But the outer, you almost shield what's here.
It's just, you know, I don't let my guard down that easy, man. You know, I'm not gonna say I'm the worst either, because I'm not. But I do stand my ground when it comes down to whatever it is that I have to do, you know. And sometimes, even though I want to stand my ground, I even tell myself that let's not even go there, because I know myself. I know where my levels are at once I reach it. Mm-hmm. And I'm afraid of myself reaching a certain level that I know I'm going to lose control of, you know?
That makes sense.
So if I have to avoid anything that has to be done like that, which I have already avoided numerous times, I will. Mm-hmm. Do I want to avoid them? Sometimes I don't want to avoid them. Sometimes I try to look at that as my, I guess, guilt-free or my anger management type of classes, whatever, mm-hmm. you know, to let go of my anger. But it just, you know, you never know how much anger you got held inside of you that you want to let go. And by the time, it can be late when you realize.
For sure. No, I agree.
So But that is most of the, I guess, the number one how people see me.
Before they actually.
But they're just, they're just judging the book by its cover sometimes, and which is cool. I don't mind because I'm just me, I'm just doing me. Like that's one thing that I want to change. People, or sometimes even my wife be like, "Why you dress like that? Why you doing this? Why you have to do that?" And I'm just like, "This is me. Why do I have to change who I am on the outside? If really all people should be focusing on the inside. The outside is just a cover,
right?
People are gonna judge that regardless whether you dress how you dress or whatever. I'm like, but once the person really gets to know you, they're not gonna know the outside person. They're gonna know what's inside of it, and that's what that's what's really gonna build the friendship or whatever it is that you're trying to build.
The inside will bring out what the outside should be, but you can't maintenance the outside before the inside.
Yeah. So
I feel like you definitely love hard. And so sometimes loving hard hurts.
Yeah.
Hard.
I can love hard.
Yeah.
Probably hate harder, bro, but
for sure. Well, is there anything else you wanted to say before we make a end to this?
Nah, man. I mean, I really do hope I help some folks out there.
Yeah. Oh, well, you helped me for sure.
At least for sure. I want to see if I helped you on this point.
Appreciate you.
But nah, man. I think we're good.
Yeah. Well, Pablo, bro, I really appreciate you, and thank you for taking your time to really be here and make this happen. So appreciate y'all, and thank y'all so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel. Like I said, I started this 2-3 weeks ago, so I'm trying to really elevate the subscription count. So please help out, subscribe, and don't forget to like this video. So I'll see you guys next time, and have a good one. Peace.